All right, guys. Welcome to the Sunday crypto service. Blessed be God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And blessed be his kingdom, now and forever. Almighty God, to you our all hearts are open, all desires are known, no secrets are hid. Cleanse the thoughts of our hearts and the inspiration of your Holy Spirit, that we may perfectly love you and worthily magnify your holy name. Through Christ our Lord. I know I said this right. I was trying to remember that from memory. So funny. What's going on, guys? Welcome. Happy Sunday. I hope you're doing okay. Market, timeline, everything is bearish AF. And so we're going to go through why this is happening, why there's so much bearishness and sell-off. We said that this bull run and these phases are going to come with shakeouts and probably some massive volatility to the downside, whether it be 20% crashes, 25, 30% crashes, but even on the alts, getting some really nasty crashes. So we're going to go through those. We're going to go through why we think we are not done yet. Obviously, we still have more room to grow. The thesis is still on point. The plan is still in effect, and nothing has changed for us. So I think we're still on the way to where we've been talking about, which is the next phase of the banana zones that Raw Paul talks about. But it comes with a little bit of some shakiness. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. We're going to go through some of this data. Thanks for joining us. All right, so let's see if we can, let's fix our rip in the matrix here. We're going to fix the rip in the matrix. Hopefully everything sounds good. Looks good, sounds good. Let's see, we need to go, I want to make sure I can see the chat. Size that up. Whoop. All right, cool. All right, so here is what is happening with the alts. Everything just got beat down. You see here, Bitcoin. Where's our Bitcoin chart? It's actually things are starting to recover a little bit, because we had the dominance start shooting up to 60%, which is really interesting. I was watching the dominance. But if you look at Bitcoin, let's see on the Bitstamp chart. Where's the Bitstamp chart? There it is. This is really interesting. So I want to show you guys this. If you look, we basically hit the trend, and I thought, we would maybe at least bounce off the trend, but then we actually hit this level that we had previously marked, this 96,006. That was a previous support level where we bounced pretty hard and actually went to the $108,000, $109,000 level. So if it goes off of what happened here on the 15th, this was the 15th, we got that 96. We actually had a pretty decent bounce up to 109,000. So check it out. Oh yeah, and I just forgot to mention that you're probably thinking, like, actually, who is talking right now? Like, that does not look like Dano at all. I know when I have a beard for a really long time and then I shave it off, people forget what my actual face looks like. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, this is what my face looks like. Not too bad. All right, so check it out. We're now bouncing off of a pretty decent level. So if we're looking at this $96,000 level, maybe we can recover. Maybe this was the bounce. That was the low, 96. And if any other pain we're going to suffer it would be to 92, which would be pretty nasty. I mean, it would be pretty nasty dump going back down to 92. But would they do that? They maybe would have already done it, and then now we'll get the buying pressure on Monday. We'll get Saylor buying Bitcoin. That's always the key metric also to pay attention to, is that MicroStrategy will buy more Bitcoin. Maybe we'll have other announcements of big purchases on Monday. But here's the thing. If you're wondering like what's going on, like why is there so much uncertainty in the market? So there's a few things. I mean, we have DeepSeek was one of them that impacted, last week or the week before, the impact of DeepSeek AI launch, so that made the tech stocks basically go volatile because the nature of DeepSeek being cheaper, more efficient and cost like quarter of the price than what all these other AI companies are doing. So it kind of, what it did is it switched the investor sentiment and a reassessment of like, wait a second, like we've been investing in this company and they're saying it's going to cost this much, but DeepSeek just did it in China and it costed this much. And so this made the complete sentiment of the market go down. Tech stocks like Nvidia saw 17% move to the downside, and it sent a market in a tailspin similar to what the quantum computing FUD was giving into the market as well, with quantum computing microchips being able to crack certain type of, codes like Bitcoin or networks like Bitcoin, questioning the security and the reliability and the fundamentals of Bitcoin. But as you can see, time has and history has proven that Bitcoin has not been able to be cracked in that type of way or hacked. And you can only just participate in it or not. So it's like, it's your choice. You either participate in it or not. And there's no technically bringing it down with a massive hack, at least yet. History has not shown us this for it to be true, that Bitcoin can be hacked. So we'll just have to see. But that is what that's coming from with the AI, with the DeepSeek. And then we also have the Trump tariffs. So Trump tariffs is increased business costs. So basically we have all these foreign goods, from Mexico, Canada, and then also a big one would be China. So these tariffs are going to disrupt the supply chain. It's going to make it to where whatever these products that are coming in that are going to get heavily tariffed, those products will obviously go up in price. But ultimately what it's going to do is going to shuffle the importance and the dominance of American-based products and also American-based companies, and also keeping a lot of the supply chain from American-based companies actually being more of the primary source of where these funds and everything are coming from, or at least where the money's coming from. But essentially what it can do is, if it actually goes into effect and these tariffs are bringing in income, then what it will do is eliminate things like the income tax. Because if you're able to collect enough money from these countries that have basically owed us money and have made us pay for stuff, and they haven't paid their fair share, and we as the American taxpayer have been paying all of this stuff, and we pay it through a very sinister type of way, where we end up being the ones that have to suffer and pay for the negligence of the United States government and how we deal with our monetary foreign policy with trade. So we end up biting the bullet. We end up having to pay. So this is the thing that Trump, what people don't understand is that, like him or not, if this actually does go through and it works, then we could eliminate things like the federal income tax. So then we also have the other narrative that is was the bearish narrative of the Federal Reserve's monetary policy being paused. So higher borrowing costs are still at play here, with the interest rates still being where they are. I think that the Trump administration would love to have the rates between 1% to 2%, almost at near getting close to zero, where it was at COVID times, because then I think that I think no matter what, like the name of the game here is to print money and get it into the market so then they can buy up and flush out the markets and do the thing that they do all the damn time. They pump it up with the money that they already printed. They sell off, they sell the assets, they dump the market perfectly to where when they have freshly printed capital that they can go back into the market. And this is with now being played out. If you can see here, on-chain data on Morales Money is showing us that the stablecoin market just hit massive buy pressure with millions and millions of dollars going into stables right now to be deployed onto the exchanges, and then now is subsequently buying this dip. So this is what is happening right now, and you can see it playing out in real time with all the liquidation levels of what these exchanges have been doing. Basically, the exchanges have been flushing out the market. Everything is playing out as it always does. Every cycle, Binance flushes max pain before the market turn up, and this happens in January. We've seen it. We've showed you on the chart. We've showed you on these charts what has been happening with the flush outs on the halving years, especially when it comes to the January date or the January month. If you're looking at let's look at the monthly, and we've shown you here that look, we have these flush outs. Is it on the Binance chart? Yeah, so you can see here, it's a similar chart that we're looking at here. That right, February, January, that area, it's the same chart. It's like, look, February, this is a little different. Maybe we can show you on, yeah, there we go. February, because we have January 12, the 16, move up, 16, move up here. And what's happening is which essentially is what happened this weekend was a flush. Like the exchange, we've told you, these exchanges want to make money, and Marty Party knows this to be true as well. A lot of exchanges will run these coins up, and then they will push the prices right back down when you start to get in and feel like you're okay, it's getting bullish now, let me go long. And then they flush the long traders out. They liquidate the market at these levels, flush the market, and then they go right back in and buy back up on the lows where you just got swamped. And you can see it by the implementation of the influx of the stable coins going back in, and then the buy pressure starts to happen again. So was that the capitulation low? Was that it for Sunday? Was that it? If that was it, then we could see the bounce here from where we had it last time. Go back up into the 105, 109. Even there, though, we got massive resistance at 106 and brought it right back down to 100K. And then from that 100K went to 109,000. Look at the volatility in this market right now. It's crazy. It's insane. It's pretty substantial, the volatility here. All right, so what else? What else is giving this uncertainty here? Inflation and economic imbalance. The persistent inflation, despite efforts to curb inflation, remains above target, potentially leading to sustained higher interest rates, which can cool economic growth and reduce corporate earnings. Government fiscal policy, the geopolitical tensions with the trade frictions because of the tariffs, escalating trade frictions with BRICS nations, the threats from the Trump administration that any BRICS countries that tries to not use the dollar will receive 100% tariffs. So this is they're not playing around. So, but this is also causing a lot of the market imbalance and uncertainty. But if we just go by that historical data of what happens, they do this every time. They make it uncertain and with all of the stuff The media, the mainstream media narrative is already built and played out and ran to put out, and then moves have already been made in the background. These are the things to get you to react, so then the institutions that have big money can basically dunk on your head. And so that is what is happening right now in real time. So if you're wondering, looking forward to a nice weekend with the family, you check the price and it ain't looking too damn good. It's not looking good, but it's okay. Here's what we think is at play. Is we're going into the second phase kicking off. We're gonna really start to see some craziness here in February and March, like we saw last time, and we can show you from looking at Ethereum kind of what happened here. Now this is hilarious because then we just had this bottom point here now, where we can now say, from this bottom point, now can we get the 66% move with ETH? Is that low enough for you institutions? Okay, so institutions buying the ETF now. Was that low enough for you? Was that a low enough ETH for you? Is that low enough? Did it go low enough for you to buy it now? Well, we all freaking hope so. Dang it, because we're tired, fam. We are tired. But this could be the opportunity, because we've seen when we have hit and bounced from some levels like this before, we've recovered and also gone pretty parabolic. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. If you don't hit the like button, like all 17 of you that are on YouTube tuning in on a Sunday, I know I don't normally stream on a Sunday, but we figured we'd come in and give you guys kind of the like, if you're wondering, like, why is everything dumping so hard? Like, what is going on? Like, this is a pretty good explanation and breakdown of a combination of things. And also we could also go into the explanation of like the rotation from things that were like from Solana. Like Solana had a rotation into other things. People rotated out of Solana, and mainly what was interesting is that some people doing some on-chain investigations were seeing that the exchanges were running up the Solana price to then dump it on your head. And so what they did is they used their market makers to run Sol up as like to that point, get everyone bullish, longing Sol, thinking that we're going into the next like leg up, to then dump it on our heads, take the Sol, and then now establish a bottom price of Sol to then buy back in again. So these exchanges are making tons of money right now, tons and tons of money from this, whilst most of the people are getting probably affected negatively by this by getting liquidated. So you have to know that these exchanges are playing the game, and if you can maybe figure it out, that they're going to probably more likely than not run the price right back to a liquidation level. So maybe we'll start paying attention way more to liquidation level prices for the market on the daily, because more so than not, they will run it to that price. They'll run it to the liquidation price. 100%, because they make more money. They make more money you getting liquidated than you winning the trade. So it's like, what do you think they would rather have happen? For you to get freaking liquidated, man. They don't want to pay you. They want you to pay them. So that's the name of the game. That's what's going on. So don't get it twisted. They want to make that money. Here's a good explanation. Let's see. Max Pain has been flushed. Exchanges are sending stables to Wintermute and Symbolic to buy the dip and run the prices back up. Spot buyers doing the same. So this is basically what is happening right now. That was 20 minutes ago. Dominance, BTC dominance was going back up, going up to up 60%. You can see this was 2 hours ago. Liquidation levels hard at 94.8. BNB, let's see, Cardano. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, this is what Marty Party was talking about. He was like, look, Binance has sent Wintermute $275 million of assets, Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol, and have only sent in $32 million of stablecoin. They dumped $250 million of crypto on the market to flush Max Pain. So people who were high leveraged, any of the traders across the markets. Coinbase, however, has sent $262 million of stablecoins to Wintermute and appear to have bought most of the assets sold by Binance. Arkham only track Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana networks, but this will be true for XRP, ADA, and SUI and all other 10 assets as well. So massive market manipulation seems to be. So yeah, this is what's happening. So if you're wondering why your alts got just destroyed, it's because the exchanges want to dump on your head and buy your bags and make more money and basically manipulate the market behind your back. That's what is happening. So what do? Well, you buy the dip and you hold you're on your own wallets. How do you avoid this? How do you say, you know what? All the exchanges, come on. And then you just say, you know what? I'll just do everything on chain. And you say, I'll just do everything on chain at this point. Buy the dips. I'll watch your on-chain movements, and then we'll play the game that way. So then you don't even have to step foot inside their stinky gym. So the fear and greed index, it's neutral right now. I would love to be in fear. I would love to have some more fear. I think the Trump coin and the Melania coin, I would have liked the Trump coin more and thought it would have been a genius idea if they didn't do the Melania coin like 2 days after. That was such a rug pull and such a money PvP attack, I think, more so than I've ever seen ever, of a rotation in such a small amount of time, and using the power of the president's pool of social interaction in terms of social media. And then to launch another coin like that, I think is very irresponsible, and I think it costs people a lot of money. And I don't think it's fair for someone like the Trump administration to basically straight up cheat, Solana, manipulate like probably a lot of new people. Some people probably made money, that's true, but most people lost money. So whether you agree with it or not, the ethical standpoint by it is where you can maybe, you can say like, well, yeah, it's not the matter of like him launching a coin. People, that's not the celebrities have launched coins. There's been celebrities that do NFT projects and stuff like that. That's not the point. Like, that's all fine and good, but to a point where, you know, where you have, hold on just a second, I got my doorbell ringing, hold on a second. BRB. Let's just pull up the Bitcoin price. That's funny. You said you found where I live. All right, well, look, it seems like Bitcoin is starting to pump up a little. It's starting to get a little bit of recovery here. If you're looking on the 15-minute or even on the hourly too. So this could be a good bounce point. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the day brings. Yeah. We just got to see what's going on here. Are the exchanges done dumping the price on our heads, just like we were explaining here? Like you can see, you know, some things have got hit pretty hard. Buy me a Bitcoin. Buy me a Bitcoin. Yeah, it's just things are getting smacked, but hopefully we get a nice recovery because we have I know Free said everyone's panicking and I love it. You know what happens next. No, yeah, that's why I like when people are panicking. I've just seen this now so many times now and it doesn't faze me anymore. Like it does not faze me at all. This is just totally normal. I think if I were to have come into this as fresh eyes, yes, or when I was like in 2021, like stuff like this, you're just like, what is happening? And you're freaking out, like you think it actually is over. But we know the drill. We know the drill. I'll tell you some, if you guys are looking for new or interesting opportunities that's like just the low barrier entry point, I would check out Abstract right now because they just launched recently in end of January. It's a Ethereum layer 2, and I think they're trying to do like a massive onboarding process with getting new people into crypto. And there's memes on here. You can hold Pingu with wrapped ETH, and you know there's this. So I would maybe check here. I mean, there's like this is kind of where money might flow. Money might flow into Abstract, and then also I know there's like Hyperliquid. I know Ansem was like super bullish on Hyperliquid, but there's, you know, all that stuff. But I would say for low barrier entry costs, like Abstract would be cool. And then still, guys, I'm telling you, Pulse Chain, don't fade on the Pulse Chain stuff. You definitely don't want to fade on the Pulse Chain. And so let's pull up Pulse Chain real quick. Go Pulse. Why is this not working? What's going on? That's not working. Let's see. It's not working. Token 2049. No. I gotta try and get ready for the Bitcoin conference. Everything's so clumped together. There's so many different conferences happening kind of around all in the weeks and months away from each other. So we have to pick and choose what we want to do. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's working. All right, guys. We'll be back. We'll be back. We will be back later this evening. So yeah, tune in. Peace out.